Say that.
No, if you wouldn't have been, there wouldn't have been so many people here to listen to you.
Well, thank you so much for all of you being here. Well, of course, I started my career in the late 70s, started with bit roles, and 80s, of course, was the time of the single screen and the leading men who were larger than life, about energy, about swag, about songs and music. And of course, I gave my best. I did everything with my heart. I had such good collaborators at that time, good filmmakers who really backed me at that moment. There was Javed Saab with his stories and scripts. There was Subhash Ghai, who made the films. There was N. Chandra, whom I worked with. There was Anil Kapoor, so I did all these films which became very, very hugely successful. But I always was looking out. I was always conscious that there will be a change. And of course, the change happened in the multiplex scale, and the scripts became much more detailed, and the stories were, from more human. Like for me, after playing larger-than-life characters, I had to become more like more human, and the directors like Danny Boyle, Zoya, so I worked with them, and I did some films which were again left a mark, and I learned a lot, and I adapted myself to the sensibility of those films, and of course then OTT came, and I took it as a challenge, because I feel I was fortunate that everything happened to me at the right time first. I'm very lucky also. And these are the scenes which I have to do with him. So I was petrified. I said, I was almost lost a few kilos listening to the script, and I told Javed Saab, I said, will I be able to put it off? I said, of course you'll be able to put it off. And sometimes, being in front of the international unit of Mission Impossible, that I did 24, when I worked with international filmmakers, obviously you're scared. English is not a language which actually I speak. It's not my working language, or it's not which I've always performed in Hindi films. I've done Telugu film, I've done a Kannada film, because I like, doing things which I've never done, and which will scare me, which will make me insecure. So these are the things which make me insecure or get scared. So these things have happened in the past also, and hopefully I always look out for those kind of stories and those kind of filmmakers who will scare me, and I feel that I'll not be able to put it off, and that drives me to do my best.
But when you started,
Resonate at the time when they release some stories, sometimes will resonate after many years, and at that moment those films were not as successful as they sound and look today. Like the film, there are a lot of films like 1942, Parinda, Lamhe, even Nayak, were at that time, we were really, the way the trade and the people around us and the media made it out, except for a section which, felt it's good, but made it out that it's not to the expectations. So I always, and at the moment I'm going through that kind of thing, whenever I get a chance, I want to pass it on to the youngsters, like don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the noise. You never know where and where the film is going to land. And I've been fortunate that these films have had long legs, and people still remember these films very fondly. But at that moment, I was going with my gut. I heard the story, I loved the filmmaker I wanted to work with. I felt the team is great and I should be part of it. And I went with my heart and did it very honestly. That's the truth behind it. Being very honest and truthful, which people can see. It might be on a telephone, it might be on television, it might be on big screen. People can see the truth and the honesty. And Ilayaraja's music, which has lived till today. The music is fantastic. The song is still today. Wherever I go to Kannada, I go to Karnataka, wherever I go, the song is played. Fantastic music. Ariadna's first film, my second film. First was in Telugu as a leading man, the second was in Kannada. Haji? Welcome. Yeah, Majnu Bhai. Yes, of course. I've not made that painting. But I love playing Majhubai. I love playing Majhubai. And if you see there are certain times when you take so much from your failures also. In certain films which you have done, you worked hard. Like Awargi I had done with Mahesh Bhatt. But if you see what I've done in that film, with the way I walk and the way I perform, that is a very serious version of what I played in Welcome. But a lot is from Awargi. My walk and my swag is from Awargi. Nobody saw the film. So I used that, what I learned from there in Welcome. And उसके बाद when Allu Arjun was walking like that, बोलते Allu Arjun का style, भैया उन्होंने पहले शुरू किया.
You